All right, folks, Father's Day is right around the corner, as you well know. And, things are changing in the world of fathering. And there's a book out there that discusses it all. And it's written by a gentleman who has done reporting for CNN. He's an award-winning journalist, Josh Levs, and is the author of All In, How Our Work First Culture Fails Dads, Families, and Businesses, and how we could fix it together. Good to see you.
Hey, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
This.
All right, so you have 3 kids.
Yes.
I have a son. Obviously, the whole workforce has changed, and it's changed for fathers because it's changed for women, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at what's happened, a lot of us, I grew up in New York, in upstate New York, and I was raised to believe in true gender equality, that the girls I knew were just as capable, and so we grew up and we went into the workforce. And what you are finding is that in more cases, obviously, you've got more women working now, and what we need is for businesses to discover the potential that brings with it.
Yeah, well, the potential meaning the need for fathers to do more with their families and their kids, because some of them the wives are working, but now let me play devil's advocate, and I'm all for that.
Absolutely.
But is it fair to businesses who are hit with restriction and after restriction after restriction? They want to mandate a minimum wage of $15 an hour. They want to mandate paid time off leave for this, paid time off leave for that.
Right.
I mean, in an economy where people can't get jobs and the workforce participation is at an all-time low, or at least a 40-year low, notwithstanding and that's why the unemployment rate is dropping. Is it fair to ask businesses and companies and employers to burden this extra cost?
I don't want businesses to be required to give paid family leave. And what's really great here, and what I do in the book, is I get a chance to dispel the myths. This idea, when people hear about paid family leave, they say, that why would you require businesses to pay? What I'm talking about, what other people are talking about, we don't want businesses to have to pay 1 cent of paid family leave. The way it works is the way it's already working right now in California and New Jersey and in Rhode Island. It's an insurance system. So when you're in the workforce, you pay a little bit of money into this insurance system, and when you need paid family leave, you get it. And what happened in these states is, in advance, there were business leaders who said, oh, this is going to kill jobs, it'll destroy jobs. Now the facts are in. Businesses report that they like it. It's had either a neutral or positive effect on them and their bottom line. So a paid family leave program that allows men or women to stay home with the kid is actually really good for the economy.
Right, so when you say stay home with the kid, you mean for a while?
Yeah, not forever.
Yeah,
not
all right. Well, okay.
Yeah.
So why is it okay for women? I mean, isn't it discrimination then? Legal discrimination if it's working for women and done for women but not for men?
Well, I faced discrimination and I stood up against it at Time Warner, and ultimately they changed their policy. And what we have to understand, for example, in my case, there was caregiving leave. And so if I had given up my own daughter for adoption and some other guy adopted her, he would get 10 paid weeks. But because it was my own daughter born to my wife, I couldn't get that. It made no sense. So sometimes you have to stand up to these policies, and what you find is that when businesses get the opportunity to really stop and look at what the facts are, and they create better policies that are fair and non-discriminatory, they actually hold on to more employees. And these employees become more productive and more loyal over years.
Yeah, no, that would make sense. Yeah. What's the biggest challenge to dads today that your dad and my dad didn't have?
So in this new era, it's a great question. In this new era, what we have now is a really impressive level of equality at home. Overall, and people don't realize this, and what dads are really up to. Overall, men and women, we are putting in the same number of hours, as each other on behalf of our families. The big challenge now is to stand up to the laws and policies and stigmas that are based on an assumption that men will work and women will stay home.
Yeah. All right. Well, good to see you. The book, folks, is All In. And it's a good book, Josh Levs, and it's appropriate for Father's Day. And if you're a dad out there, you definitely want to read it, that's for sure. We're coming back with much more of the Steve Malzberg Show, only on Newsmax Television. Don't you go away.